Is it possible that Bitcoin could be setting up for a parabolic mania phase here at some point in mid-2020? Let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the action we're seeing inside the chart right now. Of course, I'm going to be going over micro analyses here as well, looking at the chart right now and where Bitcoin may potentially wind up at some point over the next week or so. But more importantly than that, what I want to look at now is a zoomed out perspective, analyzing what's happened in the past and seeing is it possible that right now it looks like we could be in the beginning stages of what could wind up being a push towards new all-time highs at some point in 2020 for Bitcoin. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice, these are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the one-day time frame. And yes, my friends, I am using the line chart instead of the candlestick chart here today to look at this from an alternate perspective. Now, here on the line chart, the main difference is that it only shows the daily closes, right? Or rather, whatever, the time frame close. Right now, we are on the 1 day, so this is the 1 day close rather than all of the information like you see on a candlestick chart. Let's get this crypto. So what I want you guys to see here quite clearly, we are almost right now at the 200-day moving average, which is a very critical indicator across all markets. Generally, it's just a health indicator. Trading above the 200-day moving average is seen as healthy from a bullish perspective, and trading below the 200-day moving average, as we have been now for quite some time, is seen as bearish. From a traditional standpoint. Let's get this crypto. So we are coming up upon this region right now, which could be looked at as potentially bearish, right? Looking for rejections along this line like we have seen back in September and October of 2019. But now that we see this here, that's just not clearly enough for me, right? So I need to start looking for confluence, right? So now what I want to do here is see, is there anything else potentially going on here? So now if we look at our 1 day RSI, we are right now brushing up into overbought territory, right? You guys clearly see. We are also, my friends, potentially here forming a little bearish divergence, right? With the price rising higher and the RSI beginning to slope lower, albeit it's not that great of a divergence yet, just a small itty bitty one at this point in time, but it is something to monitor. Also here as well, if we go over to the 4-hour time frame, this one is definitely more clear, my friends, as we can see our prior peaks here, right? Our first peak, RSI high, second peak, RSI lower, okay? This one, a new higher high in the price, yet a lower high in the RSI on the 4-hour. Definitely concerning for me here, as what I'm going to show next as well is another confluence. So now we're starting to see some bearish divergence on the 4-hour and 1 day time frames. And now what I want to do here on the line chart is look at this 4-hour chart here. And we're going to pull up our Fibonacci extension. Okay, now these would be targets, right, for the potential bullish rally to the upside from this swing high after our 40% rip to the upside in 1 day, all the way down to the swing low, right, at that very bottom in the mid $6,000 region, right, 6,600 it appears here on my chart. Okay, so what we have to understand here is that the two main, rather the whole area of focus for a bullish target zone is essentially anywhere from this 0.5 all the way through to the 0.786. This is essentially when you're looking for bullish targets in a bearish downtrend. That is the meat and potatoes of it per classical technical analysis theory. And what we have to see here is that the 0.5 was not respected at all. In fact, we went up right almost to the 0.618 golden, nearly kissed it, got rejected, but found support. And right now we took out that 0.618 to a new higher high on a micro level. And right now, my friends, we are coming up upon this 0.786, which to me, to Don Carbonaccio, is what would, in my opinion, be the final bullish target if this is going to potentially reverse, right? So now that we have the fib pulled up there on the 4-hour line chart, keep in mind that's the 4-hour, right? If we go back to the daily now and look at the moving average, look at where this confluence sits, ladies and gentlemen, right? So we have that potential bearish divergence on the 1-day and the 4-hour. We have the 200-day moving average creeping on down here, potentially getting ready to meet. And we have what would be potentially that final bullish Fibonacci extension target in a downtrend before you would look for tentative further movement to the downside. Let's get this crypto. Now, we can look at it from the other way, right? Because I don't want the degenerates here to be, oh, Kirby, so you're saying that this has to be the top because it's the final target? Listen up, James. The thing is that if, keyword if, this is going to continue being a bearish trend here, right? If we are going to continue this bearish downward channel, this is the area, my friends, that for me looks like the final bullish target. But if we are to rip through there, things are going to look very different, right? So now let's discuss that possibility. If we are to get through this region and consolidate above, right? Let's say the 0.786 gets taken out, the 200-day moving average gets taken out, and essentially what I would really love to see is us to get back up above this 9,700 region, right? To get above this peak zone here and above these bottom underbelly wicks here, right? Take that over to here and can start to consolidate here around 9,700. That's what I would really love to see. If that starts to happen, what we also have to understand as well is that we would now start to tentatively see a consolidation above the 21-week moving average, which all throughout Bitcoin's history so far has been a very crucial indicator in calling the macro trends, right? In terms of the health of the bullish uptrend when it's trading above that 21-week and the health of the bearish downtrend when trading below the 21-week. Let's get this crypto. And we could see our most recent flip there was right back there in April of 2019 before our parabolic run to 14,000. And our latest cross back down was in September of 2019 before our run all the way down into the mid $6,000 range. Let's get this crypto. And tentatively right now, Bitcoin is looking like it does want to close and flip back above for the first time in roughly almost a year at this point. Let's get this crypto. So several things could turn very bullish here very shortly. Albeit, what I've just outlined for you is the potential that there is some bearish confluence still left inside this range, right? But what I want you to understand, my friends, is that for me, in my opinion, and from my speculative perspective, this zone here, this is really all that's left for the bears. And you guys know that I've been very, very bearish here, for a long time in this market, right? I was bearish all in here. I was bearish down here, even though it flipped, right? I've been bearish since up here all the way till right now. So, when you look at these boxes, in consideration to what my bias has been over the past several years at this point. I mean, we're talking about a ton of bearishness on my end with a very, very small portion of time here that I was bullish, right? Let's get this crypto. And now I'm starting to see that this is very possible that the bearish pressure could be drying up here if the bulls get through this final barrier. If this range is to actually hold, though, and the bears are to reject harshly at this region, and we are going to form more downward action here, I mean, this would be a pretty staunch confirmation, in my opinion, that this downtrend is just still here to stay for the meantime. Let's get this crypto. So I hope that you guys see there that we're right at the point where this is it, in my opinion. Either the bears are going to show this confirmation here, or they're not. The bulls are going to get through all of this, right, on the smaller 1 day and 4 hour time frames, right? Get through the fib, get through the 1 day, 200-day moving average, and then on the weekly, begin to close above this 21-week moving average, right? That, my friends, would all be very bullish, in my opinion, and could look to be the start of a potentially bullish uptrend, which, when we factor into the equation other things such as the Google Trends data, which I'm going to look at in a moment, the Bitcoin block reward halving coming up in several months, and the crypto fear and greed index also, which I'm going to take a look at. When we start to factor all these things in here, I do think it's possible, and we're going to look at this in a moment on what I would want to see happen ultimately here beyond that, but I think it's possible that this could be setting up the stage for another potentially parabolic move later into the year if certain parameters are met, and that's what we're going to talk about now in the second half of the video. Let's get this crypto. All right. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Sheesh. And, you know, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. What's really funny is that, as I just actually showed you here, right, with these rectangles, that I've been bearish in this market, you know, and to my credit, you know, rightfully so. This market has been, percentage-wise, over the past several years, so much more bearish in terms of time spent in bearish structures than in bullish ones, right? Really, the only bullish structure we had was right there. So compare this with all the time spent in the purple boxes, this little portion of time that Bitcoin was bullish, right? That is why I've been bearish, my friends. It's not that, oh, Kirby, you just hate Bitcoin, you. I don't hate Bitcoin, James. I'm just here to trade with what my macro bias is telling me. In a bear market, I'm looking for shorts. Yes, I get stopped out sometimes in my trade, my friend. That's normal. In trading, you win and you lose. That's normal. You know, I'm not going to be looking for longs in bearish environments, really, unless I'm just going to be scalping. So that is why I've been, you know, net bearish for the majority of the last several years. Let's get this crypto. And I'm excited that this might actually be a time where I can start to, if certain parameters are met, change my bias to a bullish one, looking for more longs than shorts. Let's get this crypto, okay? But yeah, like I was saying, I do appreciate you guys. And what's funny is that, you know, yesterday I put out a video that was showing the potential of a parabolic staircase, right, on Bitcoin, you know, looking back at the data, somewhat forming new support levels on top of old resistances in this parabolic bull run where we just staircased up, and that we could potentially look to do something similar here in 2020. And that video got so many thumbs ups relative to the amount of viewers, right? Where my videos that are just equally as beneficial from an educational standpoint to what I'm observing and analyzing in the trend, they get so many less thumbs ups because the title isn't Parabolic Bull Run. We could be going to the moon. This space really is funny to me, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you get a lot of people that really just want to see headlines of moon, moon, moon. It's just not the truth all the time. It's just not the truth. Like I showed you with these portions of where I've been bearish in this market, right? I mean, why would I be making videos with headlines of moon, moon, moon when we've been, when you look at it, a 3-to-1 ratio, right, of portions of this year, rather of the years that I've been trading with a bearish bias, right? There hasn't been much moon to talk about, right? It's just that when you preach moon, 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 you get you know, more subscribers and more fair weather traders. I use that word lightly. Sheesh, traders. Lottery ticket degenerates is the more correct way to put it. But whatever, I digress. Smash those thumbs and moon the likes if you appreciate what I'm saying. I would like to see over 1,000 likes on this stream here today. Let's get this crypto. But yeah, back to what I was talking about here. I do want to see a consolidation above this region if we are to get through this bearish confluence zone, which again, I think is the line in the sand. Either it's going to remain bearish here and reject, or we are going to see a blast through, which then may change the macro trend as a whole, right? Please don't take that lightly. I'm not just, this isn't just, it could go up or it could go down, Kirby. This is, I'm seeing the potential for a real macro trend change, if we are to get above this region. Very, very critical. Something we haven't seen since our blow off top at 14,000, okay? So now I want to see a floor being built up here in this resistance zone. And if we do get up here into this box, which is roughly 9,300 all the way up to the mid $10,000 range, it's a little startling because it could always be chalked up to that. This is a resistance zone, but that's when I have to start taking into consideration all of the other factors, right? That it's not just the price action in here, that is making this a potential bearish top zone, but then you have to start to look at all of the other things that we've gotten through all of this resistance here, right? We are trading above that 21-week moving average, which has historically been very, very beneficial for the bullish environment and things of that nature. And for me, I think at that point, with things now like the crypto fear and greed index here, making new higher highs for the first time in a long time, my friends, right? Potentially looking to flip this into a more bullish environment of higher highs and higher lows, like back what we saw in 2019 when we climbed out of the bearish market all the way to 14,000. It's possible that this is beginning to happen here once again, which would be inherently bullish in my opinion, right? Then we look over here as well. We'll go over to the Bitcoin block reward halving countdown. Only 115 days estimated until this occurs, ladies and gentlemen, where the reward will decrease from 12.5 coins per block to 6.25 coins per block. It's a supply and demand thing, right? I've gone over this many times if you are subscribed here on this channel. I don't think that it all has to be bullish here, as many would like to believe, but look what happened in the past, Kirby. Bitcoin, it halves and the price goes up. You have to understand, little James, on the other end of this, there are miners that are not happy, right? Their yield is going from 12.5 coins per block to 6.25 coins per block after this happens, right? So you have to understand that businesses are going to be affected by this. The landscape of the mining business infrastructure is going to be changed by this. It doesn't have to be all bullish. So, I see this more as a great speculative event. Right. Sure, I get the supply and demand thing. Less coins, more demand, the price should go up. I get it. I'm just looking at this from a perspective of, the mining infrastructure, it may all get consolidated into these larger multi-billion-dollar companies, right? Rather than, mom and pop or small scale mining industries. They may all go to the wayside, and this whole industry may change, which then can inherently inherently centralize Bitcoin more than it is now, right? Because the less mining distribution you have, right, the less decentralized it becomes. If there's only big time mining corporations mining because nobody else can afford to do so, then Bitcoin is naturally more centralized than it is decentralized, because you have all of the mining occurring with a very select number of companies that can just make a few phone calls to one another, and they essentially have more than 51% of the hash rate within earshot to make decisions, essentially, right? Just extrapolating out there, right? That's not FUD. Oh, Kirby, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I just want my Bitcoin to go to the moon. Don't let your head explode, James. Keep it on tight, my friend, because it's time to get this crypto. Other things here to consider as well. The Bitcoin Google Trends data. We could see here, this is the worldwide data past 5 years. We are now, let me actually just roll this back so you understand what I'm talking about. Back before the parabolic bubble of 2017, we saw that this was on a series of higher highs, right? And it just continued to go up, up, up. Then after our bubble pop in 2017, we were on a series of lower highs and lower lows, which took us all the way down to a 7 and an 8 in early 2019. We bottomed around a 7 and an 8, and that's when we broke out of our bear market, right? And then from that point forward, we saw higher highs and higher lows all the way until our blow off top at 14,000 in June of 2019. Let's get this crypto. Ever since then, just like this bubble pop from over here, we saw lower highs and lower lows until our rounding bottom, right? And now, my friends, look at what's happened here. Lower highs and lower lows. Now we're rounding bottom, 89, 89, 89. And for the first time, my friends, Bitcoin is tentatively looking to stick in a new higher high, right? This week was an 11, my friends. This data can change, though. I've seen that. That's why I'm saying tentatively. I've even seen that it says this data is complete and it changes a few days from now before it's really concrete. So take it for what it is for now, right? But right now it's at an 11, and our last high before our rounding bottom was a 10, my friends. So this could be the first point where we're seeing a rounding bottom again, preparing for what could potentially be another series of higher highs and higher lows here, showing interest come back into the space, and then also potentially sticking in what could be higher highs and higher lows on this chart here as well, just like we saw in the price climbing out of that bearish phase that we were in for quite some time. Let's get this crypto. So guys, like I've stated here, I look at this market very, very realistically. I don't try and fluff anything up. I don't try and sugarcoat anything. There's no reason for me to do so. Why do I need to do that, right? I know that this channel would get so many more subscribers and love and all that stuff if I just put out thumbnails of Bitcoin to $1 million in 2025. I mean, but why would I say that? I don't see any reason to say that. For me, with this video here today, I said 25K in the thumbnail just as a potential new higher high to an all-time high if we are to wind up building a parabolic staircase, right? That number is just a completely speculative number, right? I could have replaced that with just all-time high, right? There are no certainties or guarantees in trading. This is Bitcoin. It is essentially the most risky, high-risk market in the world. It just is what it is. It's essentially the most volatile and the most high-risk market in the world. Insane amounts of money can be lost. Insane amounts of money can be made. The thing is here, guys, is that if these certain parameters are met, I am seeing that the macro trend could potentially be beginning to change into a bullish overall structure, which could potentially lead to a new macro high and potentially a new all-time high if certain parameters are met, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. So guys, I am going to be looking to be trading this range here absolutely aggressively, as I do believe if the bears are to reject here and confirm a potential continuation to the downside, this could get quite heinous. And you guys know Don Carbonaccio likes to capitalize on potentially life-changing trading opportunity if it does in fact arise. So if you do want to see how I'll be setting up my trades there, you want to see all my trade setup ideas, I will be posting all of that exclusively for you in VIP. If you're not already in my VIP, my friends, I post all of my trade setup ideas for each and every move that I'm observing in this market. I post all of my strategies, my game plans, etc., all exclusively for you in VIP. If you are not already in my VIP, well, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And by next week and the week after, we're going to know a lot more about what I've talked about in this video concerning this very area and the confluence here and the potential flip from bearish to bullish. We're going to know a lot more in 2 weeks, right? That's just how it is right now. Things are starting to look more hopeful. Right now, there's still incomplete data here, and I think we are truly at the boiling point with all of this confluence here I just showed you all throughout the video. So again, I would like to see 1,000 likes on this video, guys. Let me know how long you've been watching the stream and where you're from. For me, guys, I'm here almost each and every day with you guys in these bearish market environments. A lot of people are lurkers. I see you lurkers. I know that you watch the videos, but I don't know why you don't leave a thumbs up if you appreciate the comment or the content rather, right? So leave a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. Let me know how long you've been watching the stream and let me know what you think here. Do you think this is going to wind up being a bull trap and we get a confirmation of a bearish continuation? Or do you think, my friends, that the bulls are going to be able to break through this range of confluence, start to consolidate here, and about 2 weeks from now or so, this could look more bullish than bearish? Let me know down below. Let's get this crypto. My friends, I'm looking to trade this aggressively for potentially life-changing trading opportunity. So I will see you all in VIP right now after this video. I'll see you all in VIP, okay? And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.